Repairs Sydney Super Night. And what a night it's been. Congratulations, Shane Van Gisbergen, kicking off the year on top once again. Anton De Pasquale and Chaz Mostert joining him on the podium. I'll keep my role nice and short tonight. We'll get to the journos as quick as we can. Shane, just firstly, your thoughts on putting together a very good 300Ks tonight under lights in Sydney.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome night. Qualifying was about where we sort of expected to be. You know, there's not really many changes since the last time we were here, and I felt like a good lap, but still 2/10 off. And then in the race, it was sort of as we were at Sydney as well. Probably a little better in the races, but get to within a second and a half and start overheating. So first stint, we were just laughing. I could see him backing up and just driving to me, and nothing I could do. So I thought we were doing a two-stopper, so I was surprised we pitted that early. I knew a three-stopper was an option, but I didn't know it was going to be that much different, and didn't really race anyone for the rest of the race, just drove around, but pretty cool.
So that's a pretty big call then to switch strategies on the fly like that. Does it give you some pretty good confidence with Andrew, and how has the day been working with the new engineer?
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome, and after the race, he was angry and said he didn't do a good job. I'm like, mate, you've won by 20 seconds. What's the problem? So he'll fit in well here. He's pretty, he's very self-critical and analytical of himself. So it's a really good thing.
Did you think maybe now looking back, the three-stopper was always the way to go, or was it more that was just had to change on the fly the way the cards played out?
Well, my strength is, and car strength is normally the long runs. We're normally really good on tyres, so they were line ball, but obviously the three-stop you have to pass cars, and you know I thought we could beat everyone on a two-stop because our car's normally better in that racing. So a little surprised. So I have to go back, analyse, and learn why they switched strategies. But it obviously was much quicker.
Did any part of you doubt the strategy in that race?
No, you know that the guys have done the right thing, but I just, I see Anton. I'm coming over the hill, and I see him going into the hairpin. And I'm going, I have no idea what's going to happen in the race. So I don't know if it's any good to watch for you guys, but yeah, it's the soft tyre just wasn't, you just drive to the grip of the tyre and it lasts.
Okay. I might get some words from Anton about that as well. And actually, first, what was going on with your windscreen, mate?
Not much. It's just a bit dirty.
What was it, oil, dirt, mud?
No, I just come out behind a pretty heated battle and then got involved in it, and obviously the edge of the track's quite wet, so you get a little bit of water, a little bit of dirt, and then that turns into smudge. So, and then it rained like a tiny bit, I think, at the same time. I couldn't really tell, but yeah, that's all right. It's all part of it.
Is that worse at night?
Not sure. It only happened today, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, maybe, but it has happened before. Like at the bend and stuff, we've seen it happen, but yeah, it's just when it rains and then it dries and then you drop a couple wheels and you get involved in that, then yeah, you're going to get a dirty windshield. There's not much you can do. We need a bit of water sprays or something to fix it.
How'd you find the new tyre?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, I came out a long way sort of further back than what I thought I would. And then, yeah, I had to sort of have some good battles and sort of get back through and have a good race with Will there. Yeah, it had held on probably a little bit better than what we all expected, and then we probably worked that out for the last stint. It was all a bit too late.
Okay, that's interesting as well. I'll take it over to Chaz. It's hard to get a read on what tomorrow's going to be like and what you can learn from today, I imagine. Is that a fair thing to say?
I have no idea what's in store for tomorrow. I haven't even opened a phone app or anything for weather-wise, but race-wise for us had a lot of fun. I had a big balls up in the second stint. I went off the road at turn 6, so that was a bit of a first race of the year type muck up there. So I just quite surprised to recover back to a podium after that, because that third, fourth, and fifth was very competitive between the two Wills and also Andre as well. So just glad to be able to look after the tyre the best I could, use the tyre when I did, but I'd had absolutely nothing left at the end. I was lucky to clear them when I did, so clean air that the tyre is hanging on, but when you have to race, it's pretty bad.
Right. We usually start with 250k races. What's it like starting the year with a 300k race, physically?
Physically, I don't feel too bad. I think it's been pretty muggy the last day or so. That's been pretty hot in the car. but you get to a point here where the tyre starts, you're going 5 or 6 seconds slower a lap than what you would on a qualifying lap, and I don't know, the peak load doesn't feel up as much, so you just spend a long time circulating, but doesn't feel like physically hard on the body, say like a Clipsal 500 would or anything like that. So yeah, it was still a long race, long time out there, but don't feel too bad. Hopefully we can back it up tomorrow.
Okay. How did you and Nick Percat go working together today?
Yeah, great. We've had a great time so far as teammates. He did a fantastic job. I think he finished 6th in that race. So if we can just qualify a bit better, hopefully we can both get up there and collect a good bank of points. And like I said, I'm pretty stoked with 3rd today compared to the last 4 weeks we had here last year. So it's just good for a dry race to actually be able to get a podium and not lose by a nose cone to my mate in the middle here.
Nice. All right, cool. Let's open her up to the journos.
Shane, the 3 stops, is that likely to cause some tyre pain for tomorrow, or is it all okay?
Yeah, well, we'll probably just have to 2-stop, or we'll have a mixture of left fronts if we want a 3-stop, or pray for rain. Yeah.
I'd like to get all 3 of your opinions. We've had, 5 races here over the journey of the last 4 months, but we've also had 3 super nights now, which have all been different lengths. Was this one too long? What's your thoughts of 300, 250, and I think the first one was 150? So if you'd like to give me your thoughts on that, that'd be appreciated.
I quite like the longer races, always have. I think it's good when we have at least a double stop race. You know, there's more you can do with strategy. It's cool to see all the guys on guns and refueling and all that kind of stuff. I personally love the longer races from strategy. I've always loved 3 enduro events, but we're back to 1 as well. So I personally like the longer races. So as you saw today, Shane did a 3-stop, which was pretty unique. So I'm sure all the teams will be looking at that for tomorrow, which if it's dry.
Yeah, pretty much what Chaz said. The longer races are quite cool. I think we all enjoy them. We haven't done many fuel races for the last couple of years, so yeah, it'd be cool to see that sneak in a little bit more. But looking outside, the race probably went a little bit too short because it would have been cool if we had the rain with about 10 to go, wouldn't it?
Shane, you mentioned a bit about Andrew Edwards before, but can you just expand on it for us? After the first race, how's that relationship developing between you and him?
Yeah, pretty good. I think the way Nick and I work is quite different as well, but he's a very intense person in a good way, but I think as well he's just trying a lot harder to soak everything up, to learn. I think we do things very differently to how BJR do it. They're obviously a very good team as well, and his knowledge is he has been doing things at a very high level, so yeah, he slotted in pretty quickly, but just, I don't normally like doing the prep meetings as much, but you have to do them to help as much as you can to bring him up to speed. And I think, the way he slotted in is not really, not mechanical, but more of an engineer, if that makes sense. So more of a computer type guy. So he fits in well with JJ's style, and I think they're working really well together.
You mentioned before that you didn't have much idea what was going on during periods of that race, and a comment about if we enjoyed watching it or not.
Yep.
Did you enjoy that from the driver's seat?
It's always intriguing, but I like racing people. Even if it's on different tyres, you can battle more. Like the first stint with Andre, he was quicker, but he was still managing and trying to come through, and I think it was Dave was catching and then he went off. So that kind of stuff's interesting, but when it's like from lap 20, I pitted and never raced equally another car. So I don't know, like you give a softer tyre, you just drive slower. Like I felt like my lap times were quicker on the soft at the end of the race. Like, we have a softer tyre and a higher pressure, but you just manage it. Like we're 4 seconds a lap off qualifying times, just driving to the tyre grip. So I don't know. I don't know if a softer tyre is the answer.
Shane, first race day with Brock Feeney in the team. How are you finding that relationship and building that rapport?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome and pretty exciting to see him make the top 10, like how stoked everyone was about that. And he's doing a really good job. His feedback makes sense, and it's going to take time, but he's about where I expected he should be in the top 10. That's nothing to sneeze at straight away. It's pretty awesome. And then, he said he got bashed around by a couple of guys on the first laps, and he said their names, and they're the names I kind of expected. People, I don't think jealousy is the right word, but, people are going to see him straight into the top team. They're not going to make it easy. They're going to pick on him, and that'll happen for the first 6 months till he gets respect and probably gives a little bit back, but he's doing an awesome job and fitting in the team really well.
And Nick, have you had a chat with your teammate about how much Optus would need to donate to Molly's Dream for him to get the Mohawk?
I'm Chaz.
What did I say? Okay, Chaz, have you spoken to Nick about how much Optus would need to pony up to give to Molly's Dream for him to get the Mohawk?
It's okay, mate. I know it's starting to get late at night, so I'll let you off on that one. But no, it's I think he's already got a bit of a silver streak for his NTI car, so we're just keeping it in the car base at the moment. So I don't know. I don't know if he'd go the Mohawk either. So I'm not sure what he'd do. Probably not.
Those are my notes for this. Sorry. Chaz has already spoken about it, so for Shane and Anton, how did you two pull up physically?
Yeah, fine. It was pretty humid, so probably should have wore a cool suit or something, but that's all right. We'll note that one down. But yeah, it's fine. It's like Chaz said, you used to sort of go into like Adelaide or something like that where you're really in pain after the first day, or at least I've been before. So yeah, it's not too bad here, but still 300 Ks always wakes up the body. But we'll come back tomorrow. We'll be all right.
Yeah, same. Pretty tired, but had an ice bath. I'm already feeling fine again.
And for you, Shane, there was a suggestion that you had an engine issue during that race. Can you expand on that for us? What was going on?
I don't really know yet, but yeah, it started sounding a little funny and started crackling, and it wouldn't respond to hill toes. And then mid-range throttle was something was wrong. So, and then I was losing time on my delta down the straight, like half a tenth. So, not sure, and it didn't get any better, but it kind of helped my traction. So, I don't know. Yeah. Might try and keep it in for the rain tomorrow.
Just to put a full stop on all the differences with the team members, Tony Quinn on the podium, what was that like? You
Yeah.
certainly gave him a bit of a soaking.
Yeah, it's awesome to have him up there, like our team ownership and a lot of changes, and yeah, it's pretty awesome to have those people around. Tony was around last year, but keeps himself pretty silent in the background, but yeah, like been a lot of changes, but it's still the same Triple Eight. Like atmosphere in the team's awesome, and everyone's just knuckling down, sticking to their business, and it's a cool team to be a part of.
Does Jamie know what to do with himself?
Yeah, he's been analysing everything. You see the brain ticking over all the time, but he still sticks his input in, and then he's been helping with some comments on driving still, which is quite good. And yeah, but mainly just I think learning. He'll have more of an input soon. I think he's just still processing some things, but certainly yells a lot less than RD does.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Good chat. We'll maybe see you back tomorrow. Well done.